Days of Our Lives 2-week rage. Alex explodes as Owen Kent resurfaces to finish what he started. Salem. The peace in Salem is about to be shattered by a familiar face and a fury that has been simmering for weeks. As February sweeps come to a close, Days of Our Lives is cranking up the heat with a 2-week stretch that promises explosive confrontations and a nightmare revisited. From the return of a deranged kidnapper to a custody battle that threatens to upend a new family, here is your creative deep dive into the spoilers for February 23 through March 6. The return of a nightmare. Owen Kent claims his prize. For weeks, Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, has been looking over her shoulder, tormented by a stalker who seemed to know her every move. While circumstantial evidence pointed toward a bitter Jeremy Horton, Michael Rourke, eagle-eyed viewers knew the truth was far more sinister. That truth comes into terrifying focus this week when Wes Ramsey reprises his role as Owen Kent, making his official on-screen return to Salem after 16 long years. The week of February 23 kicks off with Stephanie walking right into the lion's den. Despite the threats, Stephanie refused to live in fear, a decision that proves catastrophic. On Tuesday, February 24, Stephanie comes face to face with her abductor, but it's too late. Viewers will watch in horror as she is chloroformed and snatched from the streets, finally revealing that the mastermind behind the harassment is the man who once held her captive in a Demerara mortuary back in 2009. This isn't just a copycat crime, it's a continuation. Owen's obsession with Stephanie has clearly festered for over a decade, and his return is perfectly timed to destroy the happiness she has fought so hard to find. His reappearance on Friday, February 27, confirms the worst. Jeremy was framed, and the real predator has been hiding in plain sight. Alex Kyriakis. From groom to grenade. While Stephanie is fighting for her life in a location unknown, her fiancé, Alex Kyriakis' Robert Scott Wilson, is about to undergo a transformation of his own. Gone is the easygoing, often shirtless ladies' man. In his place stands a man consumed by rage. Upon learning that Stephanie is missing and that the prime suspect is actually the man who once tormented her, Alex explodes. Spoilers indicate that Alex is not content to let the police handle this one. He fumes, he stomps, and he makes threats, but when the system fails to produce immediate results, his frustration boils over into something much darker. We will see a side of Alex we haven't witnessed before, a man driven to the edge by the helplessness of protecting the woman he loves. Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols draws on his ESA training to lead the investigation, but Alex is the wild card. While Steve follows the clues, Alex is likely to follow his fists, potentially beating the pavement, and maybe a few informants to find a lead. His rage is a powder keg, and when he finally discovers that Owen is behind this, the explosion will be heard all over Salem. The Secret Agreement. EJ and Abe's Dangerous Pact. Away from the kidnapping chaos, a different kind of storm is brewing, one that involves the dead. EJ Demerara, Dan Feuerriegel, has been hiding a secret in a cryogenic tube for months, and the truth is finally bubbling to the surface. Spoilers confirm that Abe Carver, James Reynolds, and EJ sit down to discuss a mysterious agreement, and the implications point to one thing: the resurrection of Lexi Carver. EJ has been running a secret lab with Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, and all signs point to his sister, Lexi, being the powerful patient. This puts Abe in an impossible position. He has moved on with Paulina Price, Jackée Harry, but the love he had for Lexi was the stuff of Salem legend. The agreement between Abe and EJ is likely the framework for Lexi's return to society, and to Abe's life. This deal reeks of disaster for Paulina. On the same day Abe and EJ meet, Spoilers show Paulina comforting and emotional Theo Carver Tyler Joseph Andrews. Theo is about to learn his mother is alive, and Paulina is bracing for the impact of her marriage potentially crumbling. EJ, who despises Paulina for driving a wedge between Johnny and the Damaras, may see this as the perfect revenge, giving Abe back his late wife, thereby taking a wrecking ball to Paulina's happiness. Baby Trey in jeopardy. Sophia's last stand. As if the adults didn't have enough drama, the younger set is embroiled in a custody nightmare. Johnny Carson Boatman and Chanel Raven Bowens are preparing to finalize the adoption of Trey, believing that Justin's Wally Kurth legal assurances mean the coast is clear. In soaps, a clear coast usually means a tsunami is coming. Sophia Choi Rachel Boyd, recovering at Bayview, is far from done. She abandoned Trey at a fire station, but her current mental state gives her lawyer, the cutthroat Melinda Trask Tina Huang, the perfect ammunition to challenge the adoption. Sophia is furious about how things have turned out, and Melinda knows how to manipulate the law to argue that Sophia was in no condition to consent to giving up her parental rights. This sets up a heartbreaking legal battle. Johnny and Chanel are already dealing with Chanel's high-risk pregnancy. Now they face the threat of losing the son they've come to love. Sarah Horton Lindsay Godfrey bonds with Chanel over the shared terror of potentially losing a child, but this is a fight that could tear this new family apart. The search and the rescue. As the days tick by, the search for Stephanie intensifies. The week of March 2nd to 6th focuses on the rescue mission. Steve, having dealt with criminals far more twisted than Owen, finally catches a break. Spoilers indicate that Steve tracks down and captures Owen, demanding to know where his little sweetness is being held. The rescue, however, is only the beginning. Stephanie will have to deal with the psychological trauma of being held captive by the same man who terrorized her years ago. Meanwhile, Alex will have to grapple with the fact that his rage was useless, and that he may have to support Stephanie through a recovery that neither of them expected. Additionally, look for Jeremy Horton to finally get the vindication he deserves. As the truth about Owen comes out, Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu, and the rest of Salem will owe him a massive apology for assuming the worst about the troubled Horton heir. A Damara distraction. Kate and Xander's book scheme. In a subplot that could have major repercussions for the Damara empire, Xander Kuriakis Paul Telfer, and Kate Roberts Lauren Koslow continue to manipulate Johnny. Their scheme involves tricking him into publishing Bonnie Kuriakis's, Judy Evans' tell-all book through Damara Enterprises, a move designed to bleed Titan's secrets and embarrass the family. If Johnny falls for this trap, it won't just be a business faux pas, it will be a betrayal of his family's name. Given that Johnny is already distracted by the adoption drama and Chanel's pregnancy, he is particularly vulnerable to Xander's machinations. This storyline is a ticking time bomb that could explode just as the Lexi resurrection drama unfolds, proving once again that in Salem, no good deed goes unpunished. The next 2 weeks on Days of Our Lives promise a whirlwind of terror, legal drama, and supernatural resurrections. With Owen back in town and Lexi on the verge of waking up, Salem will never be the same.